current day. Tracks and points, but the cars are not. They're from 1998, when the racing was heavy and hard. It was one had tobacco sponsors, and no one grow high to ride the rail. Back when it was all about raising hell, turning left and praising Dale. The classic racing style brought to you good new. You'll see drivers you remember that you love, and some that you love to hate. See, I was found gaming racing series NASCAR Heat 5 in 1998.
All right, back here for the NASCAR Heat 5 1998 mod. We are at Bristol this week. And we did pretty well in practice. Put up a 16.187 and then put up a 16.620 in qualifying and put it right in the middle of the field. It was actually 21st, so somebody has to go to the back. Practice laps were pointless. I was just kind of taking it off into the corner and just letting off the gas. I wasn't really using the brake at all, so didn't really have to, hit the brake and go through the motion of the corner. So I think I tried to use the brake in qualifying, and you see what happened, a whole half second slower than my best lap. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, there's going to be a caution here, and I'm going to bring it in for tires and try and use tires to work my way back up through the field. I hope I'm not the one that brings out the caution, but I mean, that's, if last week was any indication, then the idea of racing clean throughout the course of this season has kind of been a struggle the last few weeks. We're comfortably in the chase, so we got a good chance to just kind of be consistent here and put in a good finish and wind up with some points. So we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and get started. Bobby Labonte on the pole. Bill Elliott up there. Kenny Wallace crashed during qualifying, driving a backup car. Bobby Labonte on the pole. Qualified in first. That's what the pole means. And Hutch Strickland, engine change after qualifying. He'll start at the back. Nope. And of course, starting on the outside, just like we love to do, right next to Jeremy Mayfield. And again, in practice, we were never around this many cars. I really want to get to the inside as soon as possible here. And that'll do it. Get ourselves down there, and then we'll actually execute using the brake to the best of our abilities. Ernie Irvin had some words for us after our race last week. I don't know why, but he felt the need to take to Twitter to call us out, as well as Johnny Benson, who I can see up there. Ernie had a really good start to the season. Oh, Bobby, let me straighten you back out, buddy. Oh, a little bit off the wall there. And Bill Elliott out in front right now, and that would definitely shake up the playoffs. And Bill is a driver who has been doing really well as of late. Big time, kind of a hot streak from Bill the last 4 races or so. Mike Skinner in a bit of a free fall. Okay. I don't think we have to use the brakes a lot here, but I think we're just going to have to kind of be patient and tap on him as we head through the corner. Jeff Gordon out front. Already 8 laps in, and this wheel is starting to fight me a bit. 16.2 is fast. Jeff Burton's a guy that's been pretty consistent this season. Let's go ahead and take a look at some Jeff Burton stats from this year to date. Really consistent, always been running up near the front, as you can see. Just had that one bad finish. Yet to win a race. Ernie going forward, though. I got to give him credit there. And Jeff Gordon has taken off and left this field, folks. He's caught the back of the pack, but he is way out in front. That second place dot, I think you can't see it behind my head, but that second place dot is nowhere close. Ernie doing what I want to do. Just gonna pick guys off one at a time and go through the field. Cleanly. What can you imagine if Dale Earnhardt had Twitter in his time? Unfiltered thoughts from the Intimidator. Johnny. I know, Johnny. I know, after last week, that is pretty dumb on my part. Man, I am not getting these corners right at all. Maybe I do want to be on the outside here. My fiance watched my video last week, and she said that I said the name Dick Trickle way too much. So I'm not gonna say Dick Trickle a lot this week. But he's in last place. Look at this group of cars up here, including a bunch of cars for positions. That's a top 10 run for us now. Oh boy, this is just an absolute mess of cars right here. Some for position, some not. Bobby Labonte, Rick Mast, almost a wreck. Coming off a 2 here. Mast. We started right behind you, Ted Musgrave. Look at Rusty. That is aggressive right there. Aggressive move in the Blue Deuce. Look at this. What the hell, Rusty? Oh, boy. Let's take a look at some Rusty Wallace stats this season and see what his problem might be. I think pretty good year. I'm not sure what he's so angry about. I think maybe he didn't like the way I raced him there. I don't know if I would bring it into the pits now if there were a caution. I think it depends on how many people are lapped down. But Gordon has been just kind of clipping through these guys. Rusty into the wall, coming out of 2. As this battle for 8th intensifies with Rusty Wallace. That's not going to help as Rusty and Sterling Marlin continue to battle behind Jeff Bodine and Jeremy Mayfield. Jeff Bodine got to almost go around. I think he saved it, though. And now we're behind a bunch of lap cars. Oh, that might do it for any chance we had of coming through the field. We are just struggling with this lap traffic. Yeah, we are so loose getting into the corners. Chad Little, Rick Mast racing for 6th. We'll take 7th in Bristol. What a race, though. All over the place was that one. But 7th place going to be where we finished. A pretty decent day, kind of ran around 35 laps, you know, not too shabby. Sterling Marlin had the fastest lap. That's a point for me. Jeff Gordon led the most laps. That's a point for him. And then who came up through the field? Michael Waltrip, 21st to 3rd. And who dropped the most? Bobby Hamilton, 6th to 26. So that's going to wind up being the Bristol race there. We'll take a look at the finishing positions, and we'll take a look at the expanded point standings right after this. Let's check it out. All right, let's take a look at the Bristol finish here. We have Jeff Gordon up in first. Another great run from Bill Elliott. Saw him lead some laps early on, so we knew he was going to have a good finish. And as we'll see in the expanded point standings, he has had quite a run. Will it result in him jumping into the chase? Michael Waltrip with his best finish of the season up there in 3rd. We watched Ernie Irvin jump up through the field, started right in front of us and kind of took off. A great finish for Rick Mast. Chad Little, Johnny Benson, another good run for him, putting it in the top 10. And then 11 through 15 is super consistent guys. Labani, Earnhardt, Mark Martin, Jeff Burton. Ricky Craven has a pretty good season so far, just kind of been really consistent. Derek Cope, his best finish of the year by far, missed the race last week and then winds up finishing 18th here. 21st through 30th has to be the most bland color scheme of all time. Ward Burton following up his win last week with a 21st place finish. Dave Marcus, Bobby Hamilton, really nobody of note in here, just guys that are pretty much 20th to 30th in points. And then 31st through 40th, Ted Musgrave did not qualify last week and didn't really run well this week, putting at 36, was right around that chase bubble. And Jeff Bodine as well was also in the chase as of last week. We'll see if he falls out. Let's take a look at the point standings. As well, got to sort it. Oh no, I got to sort it. Bobby Labonte and Jeff Gordon wind up top, and Gordon only 2 points behind Bobby Labonte. And look at Gordon's last 3 weeks. First, fourth, and first, and that shows you, even with that 40th place finish at Homestead, you know, Bobby Labonte has been way more consistent than Jeff Gordon, but Gordon's wins now are in consistency are getting him up there. That 13th and 12th place finish for Bobby Labonte, that's kind of what's dropping him down right there. Terry Labonte hasn't had a win, but he's in third. And then Terry, Mark, and Sterling kind of right there, third, fourth, and fifth. Only 5 points separate the three of us. We've been running pretty well. No, haven't finished worse than 28th. Rusty Wallace, Dale Earnhardt, Ernie Irvin, Dale Jarrett. Rounding out the chase down here in 12th place, Bill Elliott. Like I said, Bill's seasons 4th, 7th, and 2nd. Started out 27, 27, 35th, but he has been super consistent since then. Jumped up. Ricky Rudd did not qualify for the race this week. One of the two guys that wound up not qualifying for this race. John Andretti the other. So we'll see if Ricky Rudd takes a huge hit from that. Kind of puts him down here in dangerous territory. Rick Mast jumping in. And Rick Mast in the 75 car was certainly not a chase eligible car, so I'm kind of curious to see what comes of him running up there. When that year was there, he wasn't really super good, but here he is, 15th place in the points. And again, Ricky Craven just been consistent. 16th. I mean, his highest finish is 11th, but he still finds himself in the chase, and with a pretty good bump right there. 15 points to Bobby Hamilton. That's he's got the ability to have a bad race or two to hold out. Jeff Bodine, huge fall. Ted Musgrave as well, down here with Dave Marcus. So tough going for those guys. In expanded stats, you'll see 2 wins for Labonte, Gordon, and Irvin this season. Mark Martin, Sterling Marlin, Ward Burton, the other winners. 6 top 5s for Jeff Gordon. And that has been what has allowed him to kind of jump up there right behind Bobby Labonte and be there, right close to him. Other than that, I mean, he's pretty straightforward. The top 10s and top 20s, who you expect to see. Number of top 20s, all these guys have 8 right here. No real outlier. Ricky Craven, no top 10s, no top 5s, but he has 7 top 20s, and that's kind of what's kept him in the chase. So it's interesting. Like I said, that knock there between 16th and 17th is pretty good distance. So these guys kind of have some distance to make up. But, we've seen one bad race kind of just scrunch everything right back up. We're comfortably in 5th place in the points. I'm pretty happy with that. We're still over one race away from taking the points lead away from anybody, but I'd be really happy you told me after 9 races that I'd be in 5th place in the points. So I'll take that, especially ahead of Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt and Ernie Irvin, who had such the hot start. Next week, we go to Talladega. So we go from Bristol to Talladega. May not qualify. We'll see how my qualifying session looks, but yeah. I want to thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Do whatever you want to do. Just enjoy your YouTube experience. And thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next Wednesday with the NASCAR Heat 5 1998 mod season. Thanks for watching.